What if the holiest place in the universe wasn't a distant temple or a high heaven, but the pulse in your own body? For centuries, we were taught to seek the sacred by turning away from the world, away from the body, away from pleasure, away from the feminine. But what if the greatest spiritual secret lies in embracing all of it, in seeing the miracle of life, creation, and womanhood itself as the doorway to ultimate freedom? Welcome to Inner Flame 101. Today, we're opening the pages of one of the boldest scriptures in spiritual history, the Yoni Tantra. This is not a text of escape. It is a mirror, turning our eyes inward to where the divine truly begins. Segment 1. The Cosmic Gateway. Our story begins on the eternal heights of Kailasa. Parvati, radiant and curious, asks her lord Shiva about the highest path, and Shiva's answer shatters centuries of dogma. He declares, "Among all, the Yoni Tantra is the highest, for from the Yoni all gods arise, Brahma, Vishnu, and Rudra." This isn't poetic exaggeration. The Yoni is the cosmic gateway, the ultimate source through which all of existence, all forms, and all sound flow. To worship it is to honor the very process that makes the universe breathe. Segment 2. Worship is perception. The Tantra speaks of ritual, but when you listen deeply, you realize it speaks of attitude. It says one must not ridicule the Yoni, nor offend a woman. One should worship her as the goddess. Worship here means seeing the sacred where others see only the ordinary. To look at life itself, the earth that feeds us, the mother who bore us, the love that sustains us with absolute reverence. The deepest ritual, the Yoni Tantra teaches, is respect. The highest prayer is perception. Segment 3. Transcending Dualities. The text touches on practices like the 5 makaras, which may seem mysterious. They are not about indulgence. They are powerful symbols designed to shatter the illusion that certain aspects of life are impure or profane. Everything comes from the same divine source. To divide creation into sacred and profane is to forget its wholeness. The Tantra calls us to the path of Svechachara, the freedom to live truthfully, beyond fear, beyond shame. How many of us live bound by guilt or the fear of being judged? The Yoni Tantra whispers, "Your nature is not a sin, it is the path." Pause for reflection. Before we dive into the incredible secrets of Kamarupa and the inner union, let's take a moment for reflection. If this concept of seeing divinity in the ordinary is resonating with your inner flame, consider subscribing. Your simple click helps us share these transformative, ancient wisdoms with a modern world that needs them. It's a small act of support, but it ensures this light keeps shining. Thank you for being a part of this community. Now, let's go deeper. Segment 4. The Living Earth and Inner Union. The Tantra elevates womanhood utterly, stating, "Women are jewels. Women are life. Every woman is Shakti, the living goddess. To honor her is to allow creation to flourish." This truth finds its most sacred expression in the mythical land of Kamarupa, where the body of Sati, the first consort of Shiva, fell. Her Yoni, the sacred womb, fell upon this very soil. Today, pilgrims visit the Kamakhya temple, where the goddess is worshipped not as a statue, but as a deep, natural cleft in the stone, the eternal Yoni. What we call nature is the living body of the goddess herself. This concept culminates in the ultimate tantric truth. Shiva without Shakti is a dollar. Text Shava, dollar a corpse. Consciousness without energy is directionless. Their union is Ananda, the bliss that sustains all worlds. This union is not just cosmic, it is inward. It's the rising of Kundalini, the subtle serpent power, merging with Shiva at the crown of your head. This is the Samarasya, the supreme bliss of non-duality. Segment 5. The body is the temple. Here is the Tantra's most transformative message. The body itself is the temple of the goddess. Shiva says, "Do not reject the body, for it is her home. To care for it, honor its cycles, its desires, and its rest, is not ego, it is devotion." The Yoni Tantra calls us to sanctify life. Love becomes meditation. Eating becomes prayer. Even sorrow becomes a form of grace. You are walking through the divine sanctuary every moment. Segment 6. Yoni Yagna and Liberation. The final secret is in Yoni Yagna, the ultimate sacrifice. But here, the fire is not on an altar, it is in the heart. The offerings are our fears, our illusions, our attachments. The true ritual is to let this fire burn away everything false until only truth remains, to surrender your pretense to life. Liberation, moksha, is not an escape from the world, but the awakening within it. It is seeing heaven in the heart of earth. The Yoni Tantra ends not in silence, but in song. It whispers, "The goddess is not something to be sought. She is what we already are." This wisdom is meant to be lived, not just heard. Every breath, every act of love, every moment of mindfulness renews its verses. If the path of the inner flame resonates with you, keep the conversation going. I'd love to know, what is the most revolutionary concept from the Yoni Tantra for your life right now? Let me know in the comments below. Click here for the next video in our series on ancient wisdom. And remember to subscribe to Inner Flame 101 to keep unlocking the secrets to a life lived in reverence and awareness. I'll see you in the next video.